Let's see if it worked. Let's see. There we are. Very cool. Hey. What's going on? Hi, everybody. Gotta scuba dooba dooba scuba doo 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 doo. Hey, what's up? NCASMR. We got an ASMR channel on the chat. What's up, Alexis, Fancy, Inexina, Eva, and I Exist. Emma, Moni, Karina, Ali. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? We good? Everybody good? Everybody having a good time? It's a Scooby-Doo tune, yes. Hi, welcome to the 20K Q&A. It is November 27, 2022, meaning it is my 26th birthday. Ooh, it's my 26th birthday. It's my 26th birthday. Awesome. How's the ASMR stuff going? What does your work usually consist of? Am I whistling Soulja Boy? No, I'm whistling Scooby-Doo. But good guess. What's up, VS? Hey, thank you for the love. Y'all let me know what you want to talk about today. I don't really have any big ideas, and things are quite hectic, quite busy. We got a full house right now with my family, so I'm in a different location, as you can see. And I'm still in my house, but I'm in a different location in my house. And yeah, we just dropped the video earlier today, so if you haven't seen it yet, take a look at it. Okay, take a look at the new video, please. I don't expect that it's gonna do super duper well, like in terms of like big numbers, but you know, I'm hoping that it does okay. I was actually catching up on your videos and I got the alert. Oh, Anne, well, welcome in. I'm glad you were catching up. Thanks for the birthday wishes, Inexina. We got close birthdays. Thank you, Monkind Army. Hafsa, yeah, it's my birthday. Jaden, thank you for the happy B-Day in 20K. It's going good. Okay, thanks for asking. I'm doing a Zelda ASMR coming this Friday. That's very exciting. Okay. Make sure y'all check out the Zelda ASMR. I'm glad your channel is taking off. Hope it continues. Hey, it's been doing pretty well. The Gen Z is traumatized video. The Gen Z is traumatized video did really well. By far the most successful video I've ever done, which I'm kind of shocked by, honestly. Like, when I made that video, I really wanted to just speak on something that I thought was important. And I know that sounds corny and that sounds very typical, and yes, there is this degree of that to every video, but with each video I'm always trying to think about, like, what are the current topics, right? And what are people paying attention to right now? But with the trauma video, I wasn't really sure if anybody was like specifically. Oh my goodness!
Donation from Moni Muppet.
Thank you so much for the new donation from Moni Muppet. Thank you so much, Moni. Let me make sure I get my speaker right as well, so you guys can hear the next time that our friend announces that. Thank you so much for the donation, Moni. The Gen Z's traumatized video is how I discovered your channel on my own. Oh my god, really? Why do I feel like you've been here longer? I Exist. Thank you for making the Gen Z videos how I found you. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for watching it. I'm a Gen Z. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. I bet a lot of y'all are Gen Z. What's up, Wong? I bet a lot of y'all are Gen Z. I'm you know, a cusper. Today's my birthday, but it's my 26th birthday, so I'm right on the edge. But I am basically Gen Z. I found your channel from the Logic video. Man, Alexis, we've gone way back at this point because that was like, what, 5 months ago? 4 or 5? But yeah, anyway, when I made the trauma video, I just really felt like I needed you guys, whoever was watching to understand certain things about the things that we're going through growing up, young people growing up right now. And some of the ways that we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to be aware of things, and we need to also not allow ourselves to get down because of what other people say, whether it's people in our generation or in other generations. It's really easy to, from an individual standpoint, criticize other people for what you receive as like complaining and things like that. And of course, in an individual standpoint, of course, it's better to sort of work hard and stay positive and stay appreciative and not complain too much. But fuck it, like, this is not an individual commentary, it's a social commentary, it's a political commentary, and we need both. We need a balance too of negativity. We need a balance too of being able to say, hey, things aren't that great, or things need to change. And if we're unable to do that, then we'll be unable to get things the right way. So yeah, maybe I'm interested in doing some continuation sort of from that video, and I hope you guys enjoy what we got coming up. I see Steph CK in the chat. Hello from Steph and Julia. Our service is so bad, so happy birthday. Thank you so much, Steph and Julia. I miss y'all. Okay, I miss y'all very much. Let's take a look what the chat's saying. You guys can just sort of fire away, and I'll try to answer what I can. Shouldn't be too much. I mean, we got a decent little crowd here, but I don't know how many questions there are to ask. So I don't even know how to take that. Me neither. What's up, Cafe Camila? I see Cafe Camila in the chat. Bone in or boneless chicken? The question of the century. Either or. I'm a very passive person. I don't make extremely committal choices. I tend to waffle. So there you go. I can do either or. Ali, what's your favorite color? I would say right now my favorite color is probably I would say my favorite color right now is probably periwinkle. Molly, I'm a Cusper 2 Zillennial. Shout out to the Zillennials, okay? We as Gen Z been through a lot, it's true. How's the Cusper life? It's interesting, it's kind of like being a middle child. You're sort of looking at two sides of an equation that you belong to and not really sure, how you're going to be able to sort of swing back and forth. I'm an OG at this point. This channel is basically pre and post Gen Z vid. Yeah, I mean, it's that one, and it's the Try Guys one, the Wife Guys one, really. Those were two huge videos. The Wife Guys one was much more temporal, much more about a current event. But the Gen Z's Traumatized one seems to have like a decent amount of longevity. Sorry that I have all this, notifications. The Try Guys video was very much a current event situation that was really hot during that time. Was able to capitalize off of that, yay. But the Gen Z's Traumatized video, yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I didn't expect it to get that successful, and it absolutely has been far beyond my expectations. It's been amazing. The reception has been amazing. Of course, there's been some negative reception too, and you live with that. You deal with that. But it's amazing, and I can't wait until the next time that one of those we have a video that goes crazy. We'll see. Maybe it'll be next week. Maybe it'll be next year. Maybe it'll be in 2 years. If I'm still making videos in 2 years, which I probably will be. But we'll see. What's your process when it comes to making a video, and how long do they take? So I tend to try to record on Tuesday nights. So that means the couple, like 2 or 3 days that go before that, I try to study, research, flush things out, think about things a lot. It's a lot of thinking and constructing things in my head, which it would be a lot easier if I just, sort of outline things and take it easy. But sometimes you really, really want to get things right, and you really want to be cool. And then it can take a while and it can be really difficult. But sometimes it can come really easily. So I think it would be about like a 5-6 hour process overall, with a lot of like inactive work, a lot of thinking, and then a couple hours of like hard, like not necessarily hard scripting and research, but like hard scripting and research, and then filming is usually like an hour. Uploading stuff, and then the editing process, that's Denai's the editor, and we work together discussing things, get a draft together, take notes, get a thumbnail together, and have something out by Sunday 11 a.m. Eastern time. So it is a sort of all week process that has a lot of, it can happen really quickly, and also it's the kind of thing that happens really quickly and over a long period of time. Is what I would say. Excuse me. The video was great, Elliot. It's easy to go back and forth with just saying, forget it, these celebs' opinions don't matter. Versus, why would they say something so stupid? Don't they know it's harmful? Yeah, it's one of those things you can easily get caught up in and go back and forth on. And that's when it's always good to get perspective and remember, like, hey, like, let's have some empathy for human beings and remember that choices are not obvious. And so if a choice isn't obvious, then we shouldn't spend so much time litigating whether it was obvious or not, and whether it was, something horrible or something, completely immoral, because we don't know what the situations are. We just kind of a lot of the times are using celebrities as frameworks to discuss things and to perform things, but ultimately there's still so much that you can gain from looking at celebrity news and sort of analyzing them, and that's what I try to do sometimes. Happy birthday, and I hope you get to 200k real soon. Well, we'll see about that, bro mouse, but thank you so much. I really want to make a rant stream, but I am scared. I understand being scared. I would just say, aside from like, go for it, follow what you want to do. Take your time, take your time, really kind of think through like what you're so scared of, what might go wrong. Don't be terribly afraid that things are going to go wrong, but and to the point where like everything is neurotic for you, but be at the point where you're preparing for different eventualities. Try to get yourself prepared, try to take on healthy habits in your life so that your body and your brain are really and your heart are prepared. You're prepared emotionally, mentally, physically. That's a big part of this. A big part of this is keeping yourself healthy in a lot of different realms, because you're gonna see a lot of shit, and you're gonna get a lot of hate, and you're gonna get potentially a lot of things wrong sometimes. And one of the biggest things is just being in the frame of mind and body to receive that, because you don't take things too personally, because you have other things going on in your life that you're happy with. And so you're allowing something to go wrong. You can allow something to be not necessarily
New donation from Ann Lives.
Thank you so much, Ann Lives. Really appreciate it. Big fan of the channel, Ann Lives. You've supported us for a very long time, so thank you so much. Living for the thumbnail. What did I miss? Thanks. I try to get a little glamorous. We're just sitting here talking, and this stream's gonna stay up on the channel, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I feel like you can also divide. Yeah, Nublate was on what I was saying. I have a question, Elliot. Can you give some advice about how to write a good research proposal? Is it how you say something more important than what you say, even in an academic environment? With regards to the first, I'm not really experienced with research proposals in general, but with regards to just academic writing in general and how you say something, yes. I mean, I think what you say is more the part that matters to you, and how you say is more the part that will matter to your professor. Like the guidelines and the aesthetic, the vibe, the regimen, like the language that you use, the organization of the thoughts, all of those things matter the most usually to the outside world, I find. And what you really want to say is what will matter most to you. And then that becomes this internal dialogue of like, how do I get people to get the message that I want them to get, while still hitting on all the things on the outside sense that they want, It's a very difficult process, but I would say when it comes to academic stuff, you want to make sure your shit looks tight, your shit looks, well written, your prose is good, your syntax is good, your formatting is good, Would you ever do a video about the stuff that LGBTQ plus community goes through? I don't think that would be necessarily my place, because I'm not a member of that community. I think that it's a thing that will be a part of a work that I'm doing, because a big part of what I care about is, representing for LGBTQ plus people, standing up as somebody who's not part of a community, for other people who may be different from you in certain ways, but are discriminated against actively and are oppressed and need support and need community. So that's sort of where I come at it from there. And so if I were to talk about those kinds of issues, it would probably be more from a perspective of, figuring out from what a person like me might have to realize, or, talking about larger, like other communities in
New
conjunction with
donation
that,
from
that I
Hun
might
Nguyen.
be able to speak on more. Thank you so much, Wong. It's really great of y'all. Like, I'm very honored that y'all are donating. Very honored, and very flattered and very moved. Like, thank you. Like, seriously, like, I don't really know what else to say. Like, it's one of those things that I'm always like, I get lost for words for that kind of thing. It's just amazing. So thank you. I got a question: how to stand up to someone who's making up lies about you on the internet? Well, that's a bit of an ambiguous question, because that could be a whole lot of things. But in general, if somebody's making up lies about you, worry less about controlling the narrative and more about taking care of what you can control. Because one of the things you realize about life, especially when you have some sort of public image, is that people will believe all types of things about you, and a lot of them will not be true. And a lot of them will be true or partially true. So you have to become comfortable with recognizing that other people's shit is not your shit. Other people's beliefs about you are not your problem. If they're to make it your problem, then that becomes one thing. But for instance, like if your personal life is straight, if your work is straight, if your school life is straight, if your friends are straight, if your families are straight, like straight, like good, like everything is good, like, then you don't necessarily have to worry so much about what people are saying about you on the internet. It's not under your control. Like, a lot of y'all will probably even, like, people who are watching this or people who will see my videos, like, you get subjected all day long as a creator to comments that completely misinterpret or completely do not give a shit about what you actually said in the video, and are more so just trying to say something about you that they have no basis on. And you could sit there and argue with them all day, but it's not going to do anything, because people will just believe what they want to believe at the end of the day. So the most I might want to do is like make people want to believe something that I want them to believe, because that's the only way that it would happen anyway. What's your favorite field of study? I wish I had a favorite. I think that there's a lot of things that I get really interested in. So maybe ask me again in 2 years. You ever going to finish making BTS as football managers, or should I just let that go? I will do that if we get to 100,000 subscribers. I will do that if we get to 100,000 subscribers. The last time that I did it, it was such a despicable experience that I simply could not handle it. It was so frustrating trying to get the freaking faces right. So yeah, and also my computer just couldn't handle it. I'm glad that I'm getting a new computer, and that's gonna be a big help as well. Today's your birthday, isn't it? Happy birthday if that's the case. Hope you're having a great time. Yes, today is my birthday. So thank you so much, persona que sufre. But also, yay, congrats on getting sponsored for your vid. Thank you so much. Shout out to Atlas VPN. The affiliate link is in the description. Are you into astrology? I'm pretty good at astrology. I think that astrology is something that fascinates me endlessly. I'm not sure how much I believe in it and how much I just am fascinated by it from like a structure of analysis, almost like in a Jungian sense. There's definitely a lot of Carl Jung astrology like overlap or correlation. So I'm not really a Jung person, but I like astrology. I just like it. I feel like I make good sense out of it. I feel like I have a good talent, a knack for it. So as far as deeper things into that, I don't know how much deeper I'll get, but yeah, I think I'm pretty into astrology, but not so much to where I'm like overwhelmed by it or like decide my whole life based on it. Cheers to more people for the community whenever the next vid blows up. Let's do it. Like every video has the potential to blow up. You never know. What's your favorite soda? My favorite soda is ginger ale. I like ginger ale. I like Canada Dry. That's the best one, you know. And I also like Squirt. If you've had Squirt, it's good. Yeah. Country Club's pretty good. I like Mexican Coke. You know, out of the glass bottles. That's always a hit. Yeah, I like soda in general, so I have a few. But I would say my favorite is ginger ale. I'm always going with ginger ale. I was just trying to find the first video I ever watched of you, but I can't. RIP. I might have put it down. I might have taken it down because I take down videos a lot. What do you do besides YouTube? I work. I tutor. I like to work out sometimes, but not terribly much. I like to make music. I like to make music. I like to write. I like to sleep. I like to eat. I'm a big foodie. I love food. Yeah. Can you travel at 16? I have no idea what you mean by that, Fuji. Elliot, happy birthday and congrats on the 20K. Can't stay, but I really enjoyed your video this morning. I'm really glad to hear it, Allison. Thank you so much. Brumouse Mumenheimer. I really love your deep dive into the psychological aspects and research. As someone that has been studying psychology, it's super interesting and informative. Yeah, I would love to get into psychology more, honestly. We'll see. There's so many interesting things to say. I really am interested in studying more post-colonial thought and different ways in which, you know, even psychology as a practice has things to evaluate about its own biases or its own like histories. But at the same time, I'm fascinated by the concepts from Freud and things like that. Oh my God, Elliot, meet and greet when? I don't know. I don't know if that's really gonna happen, like if that's plausible. But hey, you know, like if we get to 500,000 subscribers or something crazy like that, that's probably about the time when a meet and greet would be like a thing.
New donation from Cafe Alley.
Thank you so much, Cafe Alley. Thank you so much, Alley. That means a lot to me. Again, like, just means a lot. And thank you. Where do you find your resources, academic reading, etc.? Is it mostly online and accessible? Love hearing your perspective. Always makes me think. Yeah, I tend to use Library Genesis or LibGen to get books. I'll look for books that I might want to read or that might contribute to my research. Sometimes I will read it. I will watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and get a sense of different philosophical or theoretical conversations. Things that have to do with, you know, Marxism or Foucauldianism, you know, post-structuralism or postmodernism, but also like older stuff, you know, classic Western philosophy. And, you know, I just take an interest in a lot of subjects, so I just end up like sneaking through stuff and then, oh, wait a minute, this book might be cool, and then downloading it from there. And then aside from that, I like to go on EBSCO or Gale and find academic research. Like there's something that I'm going to work on a little bit today that I might have to do that for. So yes, and live, support amazing artists. Thank you so much. Amazing is quite high praise. Have you had to write a thesis paper? What did you write about? Yeah, I wrote a thesis paper in my senior year of my bachelor's degree in college, my senior year of undergrad. I was a journalism major, and I wrote a paper that was kind of like a long form article about homophobia in hip hop. That was the subject that I did. I think that has to do a video correspondence. What is the term? Like a video part of the piece as well. And then it was probably like 12 pages or something like that. I don't know. I still think you should have millions of subs. That's very kind of you. Hope he's heavy breathing. Have you watched the show Wednesday Addams? It is so good. I hear good things about the Wednesday show, so I might check it out. The people demand more Spanish. Hello, Pedro. The people demand more Spanish. Español es sobre español.
New donation from Alexis Phoenix.
Thank you so much, Alexis. It means a lot. Sí, bueno. Si ustedes quieren que yo hable más español, háblame en español. Pregúntame algo en español y yo te voy a responder. Is there such a thing as a valid dream job under capitalism, or is that the phrase dream job kind of cancel itself out? You know, I think that's one of those things that each person has their own experience with. It's kind of funny how my fucking mic is just enveloping the screen. That's one of those things that everybody's gonna have their own experience with. I think that there can be such a thing as a dream job, but it's not necessary. For some people, I mean, everybody. I think work, and I think labor, is something that is a valuable, not even an invaluable, inextricable part of the human experience. We all have some part of us that wants to work, even if we joke that we don't. But the difference is that work under a capitalist system, as you know, as Marx writes, right, in Capital, is inherently sort of bastardized. It's alienated from us. Our labor is alienated from us, and what that means is, when you work, right, and you do something, you see the fruits of that labor. That is the part of the process that is, inextricable. That's the part of the human process. That's a part of what labor is. There is something that is done, like an effort, a labor is made, and then a product comes out. Fruits of the product of the effort come out, and the human who does the labor is supposed to experience those fruits. But under capitalism, those fruits are not coming to us. They're taken from us. And a lot of the jobs that we have in the first place don't even have many good fruits to bear in the first place. The only real, thing that we're trying to get from the jobs themselves is an amount of money. Like, we're trying to be paid for our time that we're spending doing this labor, which is being alienated from us. Even if we're getting paid a lot, the labor is still alienated because we don't see the fruits of the labor. We don't, if you plant a tree, well, that's kind of a slow process. But if you if you hunt for food and then you cook the food, like, then you've done that. Even if you don't eat the food yourself, you've created food. That is this valuable thing that is a part of your life. If you create a t-shirt, you knit it, whether it's with a machine or by hand, and you have the shirt, then you have the shirt, right? What capitalism does is it alienates that from us. We don't do the work because we want that fruit, because we're thinking about how, either wanting the fruit itself or wanting to be enjoying the process of creating it. The capitalist classes take those fruits as something that they can use to generate profit so that they can increase the accumulation of their capital. But meanwhile, all that we're getting out of it is a certain amount of money that we're using. That money in and of itself is nothing other than an interchange, a thing that we use to interchange, to exchange in the market. Plus, once we get into that actual, exchange of the market, many of the needs and the wants that we have under capitalism are not inherent. They're not natural. They're not human. They're things that capitalists impose on us, just such as being up to date with the times in terms of your fashion sense, or in terms of your technological, like in terms of having the right phone, or in terms of, having a ability to own something under a specific, like, there's all these different things that are just like created as needs in our lives that aren't real needs in the very base human sense. So what that all comes down to, thank you so
New
much for the
donation from Sophie.
What that all comes down to is that we have a whole broken concept of work that has been created by capitalism, and that's why we don't want to work, because we don't even know, we don't even have work anymore as a real thing in our lives. So to have a dream job in that sense is less and less common, or less and less relevant for us, because we don't see the fruits of the labor of the work. The only thing about we get paid a certain amount, and maybe we even enjoy doing the job. So maybe it is something that we want to do, that we desire, that we dream about. But if you stake so much desire into a job, usually you get the job and you don't feel as happy, because you realize that ultimately you are still alienated in the process. You're still alienated from your labor, and even if you're able to bargain for a better salary, even if you're able to have more money from it, or get more benefits in the United States, for instance, ultimately it still comes down to the same problem. Like, ultimately it's still not your process. It is something that you're doing you're forced into doing for somebody else, and anything that you're forced into doing for somebody else is never your dream, right? It's been coaxed out of you. It is an involuntary process. It is taking away from your time, your energy, your desire, your happiness, etc. That was a bit of a long answer, but it's the best. That's sort of what I think of when I think of that stuff. Related to your last video, do you think that the reactions to the problems that affect us all, whether social, economical, political, etc., are a reflection of people trying to solve the main issue of lack of control in their situation when in reality end up treating symptoms? Lost the thing for a second. To be more clear, we all recognize the problems around us, but in order to act, we need an action plan. But how do we do that, or how do we make it effective? That's something that's hard to answer. So people try to cover that necessity by manifesting their worries, but that doesn't solve things in the end. English is not my main language, by the way, so I'm sorry for lack of occasion. No, you're writing very well. This makes sense as a hypothesis. I think you're getting at something that makes a lot of sense in terms of people are feeling helpless, right? When people feel helpless, they act in certain ways, right? Like, what do we say about bullies, right? The people who go to school and that bully other kids, those are the kids that they get bullied at home, or they get bullied by other kids, and so they feel that sense of helplessness. And so when you feel that sense of helplessness or powerlessness, then you try to engage in practices that reify a sense of power that you have over other people, whether that's an actual reification, like you're creating it, or trying to create a sense of power, or whether it's something that you're embracing about your own life, that you can have some sort of you can exercise some sort of power over other people. A lot of what we take a great amount of joy out of is being part of those power dynamics, is having power over other people. And so, for instance, us yelling at a celebrity, that comes out of our frustration with being ultimately powerless, with feeling powerless, or wanting to exercise power over somebody that has so much power over us. So we stop treating them as human, because we can't engage with them as a human being and expect that we will do something of note to them, because ultimately they are too powerful. It's like, a person that's like 10 times your size. You're not going to care about hitting them hard if you're trying to fight them. Or spar with them or whatever, because you know that they're so much more powerful that you don't even regard them as being the same as you. So it's that kind of frustration and it's also that's combined with people feeling very atomized and very alone, very unable to work with other people to create a difference, feeling like there's no political action that we can do to change anything. You end up just having all this frustration and all this helplessness that you're constantly confronting. And so, of course, you're going to take that out on other people that you can dehumanize, or you're going to just act in other types of, ways that may or may not be negative. Did you always like to write, or is that something that happen to you someday? I strictly remember the beginning of me wanting to write was like in second grade, when I wrote like a little Halloween story. I wrote like a story about how I was really happy because we gave away candy at Halloween to the neighbors, and I liked doing that. And that was I remember specifically that everybody was very happy, like the teachers were really happy that I wrote this. They were so like amazed at how good the story was or whatever. I was like a kid, and they were like, "Oh, you're such a good writer," and they hung it up on the wall. And that was a point of real pride for me, but also a point where, not even just in an emotional sense, but in a strategic sense, I realized like, oh, like I just really just bullshitted that story that I just wrote because I was, it was just something that actually happened. And it has gotten me all this clout. I am going to keep doing this because this is clearly something that I can do for work. And so I think from that point on, I had that confidence and that almost joy in it. Sometimes it's not a joyful process, but even so, it's like, it just feels a natural part of who I am. And also, my brother has always been a writer. He was always a writer when we were growing up. And so I tried to take after him a lot as a little kid, because that's what you do when you're a little brother. So I was always like, oh, like, well, if I could be a writer too, and maybe I'm gonna be a better writer or whatever. So I think that's where it started. It started very, very young, and then I got into music and I was writing songs, and so I had all this different writing experience in all these different ways. I think it's just always been a part of me, and it'll always be a part of me. Because you can always write, right? Even if you have disabilities, you can use your words in some way. Guess who for such generation, because I really think there's a lot we care about a lot of things, but there's just this hopelessness. Right. Fancy was on it before I said that. How did I get into YouTube? I have been watching YouTube since I was a little kid. I remember, like I said this in the live stream before, I remember when there were video responses to YouTube videos. I remember when there were star ratings. I remember when Jenna Marbles was popping. I remember the Asians, the period of time when Asians dominated YouTube. Like, I was there. And so for me, I saw myself in that a little bit as a partially Asian person. And I also saw like that was like the thing. Like that was my medium. That was the shit that I cared about. I didn't know what was going on TV. I didn't watch Pretty Little Liars. I didn't watch any of that shit. I was on YouTube. So for me, this has always been it. Like YouTube has always been my thing, and that's always been where I've been on. And to this day, I'm always on YouTube. I love YouTube, even as much as it is this gigantic capitalist, corporation, and it is all spectacular and whatnot. And there's all these negative things that happen on YouTube. I love it. Like there's so many things that are great about YouTube, in my opinion. Even if that's like I say that cringing because I know that it's very like lib of me. It's my thing. Elliot, did you attend uni/college? I kind of answered that earlier. I'm about to and overthinking the decision so much because I'm very anxious about making the wrong choice and kind of like wasting years of my life, frustrating myself. Well, thinking is never gonna work. Like no matter how hard you think about it, you're never gonna get a good answer. So you might as well just do something. It's just do something that feels kind of good in the moment and see what happens. I think the best advice that I could give anybody that doesn't know what they want to do with life, whether it's with work, with a career, with college, with high school, with anything, is literally like, don't expect to succeed. Like, do not get yourself caught in the like prism of like being a success or a failure. Literally do stuff that you don't care if you're bad at it because you just want to do it. And if you need to make money, there are ways that you can make money, especially if you're a privileged person that has people taking care of you and with your family or whatever. Like there'll be things you can do. You could work in service. You can work, customer service somewhere. You could work, in a shop, in a car shop. There's so many different jobs out there that you can make like bullshit money doing. Money is not something that you should just like suspend every single moment of your life for, if you can help it. So like literally just like don't expect to succeed, don't want to succeed. Literally just spend your life doing things that you want to do because you want to do them and not because you want the outcome. I made YouTube videos now. Like of course I have goals and I have desires, and of course there's a pressure that I feel like I need to make this a career. But ultimately, this is what I do. Like I do it because it's like a big part of what I care about. And I like making YouTube videos, and I like making YouTube videos with Denai, and I like talking about the things I talk about and seeing some of y'all, not all of you, no, seeing all of you. And if we never got past 21K subscribers, like I'd be like, all right, this is a pretty good run though, right? Like like. If you get caught up about succeeding in things or get caught up about making the right choice, oh god, you're gonna be miserable forever. Like there is no right choice. Everything is the wrong choice. Just make the one that feels like fun. Make a fun bad choice. All the Sprite copies are better than actual Sprite. Oh, that's an interesting hot take. I loved your High School Musical tier list video. Would you be interested in doing another very light video like that? Yeah, at some point for sure. I think making very light videos is fun, but it's not necessarily my specialty. I don't think it's where my bread is buttered. I think people tend to like my videos that are more serious and more like researched and things like that. And when I'm like off the cuff and being silly, I feel like people, some people enjoy it, but generally it doesn't work as well. With that being said, that can always change. And there will be points in time where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about Breaking Benjamin for a week or some bullshit like that. How many languages do you speak? I speak 2 languages. I speak English and Spanish. Squirt, best drink to be honest. Yes, squid. I have 2 questions. 1, where to start when first getting into the psychology theory, anti-capitalist topics you cover, and been hearing the advice. Okay, so I'll start with number 1 first. So if you want to get into anti-capitalism, you have to read Marx. You have to read Marx. You have to study Marx. It's extremely dense. It's extremely complicated. It's going to be extremely boring for a while. So you might as well just get started now so that 3 years from now, you'll find it interesting. I would say if you want to get into, like, there's a YouTube channel called Then and Now that I mentioned a bit in the video. Really good channel. Really great topics when it comes to anti-capitalism, when it comes to philosophy, and psychology, which is, part of what we call critical theory. That's the type of sciences that developed in the 20th century, or the type of like social and political analysis that developed from Marx's legacy that we sort of know about today when it comes to all these different thinkers and all these different sort of ideas, whether it be power dynamics, that's Foucault, the post-structuralists, whether it's the Frankfurt School like we talked about in the last video, or whether it's the post-colonial scholars like Edward Said, or like Gayatri Spivak, or like Aimé Césaire. There's so many things. So another thing you can always think about is like, what is the thing that you care about? Like, maybe you can think about your cultural background or your ethnic background or your gender interest, like gender identity, sexuality, and then there's going to be some great scholarship about that you may want to read about. Honestly, just look for books that look interesting to you too, and just like go for reading them and then see what you think, and maybe go online into different spaces and see what people will talk about. I use Reddit a lot because I like to see what other people are saying, and then I know where to base my sort of thoughts on things, like in terms of what I'm responding to, what I'm seeing out there, but then ultimately it's Marx, right? Like, you got to know Marx, whether you love Marx, whether you don't love Marx. I don't think anybody should really love Marx, but like, he's also so fundamentally important because like it's the anti-capitalist critique, like it's the understanding of capitalism, and there's just too much there that's valuable for you to understand. So everything comes from that too. Like, a lot of things at least come from that. Even the people that are specifically like, we need to think past Marx and we're post Marx. We need to, Marx didn't account for XYZ. Those people are still responding to Marx, right? So that's always a good shot in the dark. Second one that Jaden asked, I've been hearing the advice not to live by a timeline a lot lately. How do you follow this? I think that it goes back to the advice that I gave before. Literally just make choices that aren't like based on like, oh, this is the right or the wrong choice. I mean, ultimately that's what we do, right, as humans, but like, if you're having trouble making a choice, then just kind of pick the things that are fun and just like have as much fun as possible. If that sounds stupid, like, I apologize, but like, literally just like have as much fun as possible, because even if everything goes wrong, you had fun the whole time. But if you're gonna not have fun, like, make sure you better know exactly what you're doing, and most of y'all don't know what you're doing, so you might as well just have fun. That sort of goes back to just living in the present moment, not having expectations, or having very low expectations, or not worrying about success or failure is like one of the key problems that our generation faces. And it's because we have been beaten into us that we need to succeed from a very young age and have all this pressure put on us. A lot of folks are like, I was the honors kid or whatever, and all of it messes us up, because we get in these states where we don't want to try anything, we don't want to do anything because we're gonna fail, because we're insecure. Motherfuckers don't want to go on the dance floor and dance. Like, people don't want to dance because everybody's like, oh, I don't know how to dance. Like, who cares? Like, can you believe that? Like, how preposterous is that people don't want to dance and sing because they feel like they're bad at it? Like, the whole point, it's more fun when you're bad at it. Like, there's nothing less enjoyable than that person at the karaoke that's like really good at singing, and now everybody has to go, oh, standing ovation. Like, nah, bro, suck. Like, go out there and suck, because it's fun. Like, just have as much fun as possible. And yes, of course, you need to take care of your responsibilities, and yes, of course, it's not that simple, but like, nothing is ever that simple. If there's just like one thing that you can go back to sometimes to sort of think about, I would think about just like having fun and just stay in the moment, like, be goofy, like, go exercise a lot. Your body needs a lot of help sometimes. So that helps too. Dance as much as possible. What's your favorite thing when you're recording music? I mean, it changes every time. I would say the best experiences is when it's just coming together as you record it. For me, that's how it is. Whenever I write a song and then plan for it to sound a certain way and then go record it, it never comes out sounding that way. I get really insecure. I get really perfectionist and transfixed on things, and I get really frustrated. Like, the amount of times like I've slammed tables and yelled because it's like, this didn't come out right. Whereas when I'm like sloppy and just like having fun, it's the same shit, like having fun, it makes a world of difference. Like, that's when the best music that I've made comes out. So yeah, just having as much fun as possible, being in the moment, like coming up with things as you record them, or like just adding things like freestyling things or you know, adding little silly parts that you didn't expect. Like those are the best parts, the little silly human parts that come out. Are you a hydrated human? Yes, I'm drinking water. Favorite Pop Tart? I would say probably the old classic, you know, frosted strawberry. I'm working on an illustration for my friend's birthday and listening to this as background noise. That's awesome. I can't stay because it's late for me, but I love your vids. Thank you so much, Midnight. Will you ever make a video about AI art? It's been a big talking point in the art animation industry recently. Probably not, because I don't know much about it and I'm not really a art. Like, but that's always been my thing, is like, and I know I just told you, like, who cares if you're bad at something? And I get it. Like, trust me. Like, I like having fun when I make art, but I am not a, like, art knowledge guy. I don't really enjoy going to museums. Like, I don't enjoy, like, art is just something that, like, I'm always astounded when people, like, that's why I need an editor. Like, I can't do this shit. Like, I get so bored. I get so, like, annoyed. Like, I watch videos that's like zero editing, like just a dude sitting here talking like this. I'm not great with visuals, is what I'm basically coming down to. Like, it's not my thing. So when it comes to AI art and all the different theory and all the different technical aspects and all the different capital aspects that come into that, like, there's a lot of things that are interesting, but I would definitely need a world more time to, like, sort of study it and learn it and then figure out what my perspective, like, where I would come in with that. And I just don't really see a viable path for that at the moment. All hail LibGen for real. Yes. What makes you happiest, if anything in particular? It's I don't know. I think there's so many answers. Like, it's such a open-ended question. So I think I'll just give a silly one and just be like, you know, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, man. Like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is, like, the best. What's your favorite food? Well, unrelated note, my favorite food is not Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because I would die if I had too much of that. It rips your organs apart. Like, anyway, I would say my favorite food is. This is really difficult. I love food, man. Like, it's just tough. I really love mussels. I recently had this particular mussels dish. I've had it in a couple Mexican restaurants. I think they do it in a lot of places. But this specific was a Mexican style, like, kind of PEI mussels kind of thing, where it's like you get a bunch of mussels, you get it in this red sauce, like that's like a wine reduction sauce, but it was also like kind of creamy. It had like chipotle in it, and then they give you garlic bread. And so I ate the mussels. Okay, I love seafood. I ate those mussels, and then you dip the bread in the sauce. Oh shit, it's so good, bro. That shit is some of my favorite food in the world. Mussels, because mussels just go down so easy too. I love seafood. I could be a pescatarian if I tried. Have you watched the new Black Panther movie? Yeah, I thought it was really good. But I hate that the subtle indoctrination. You know, not to get super Foucauldian, I guess. I hate the subtle indoctrination of, like, you know how the colonized are always, like, looking to fight. You know, like, they're so concerned about their safety that they're always on the precipice of violence. Like, that's just not how this works. Like, if that shit happened in real life, Namor shows up, is like, hey, can you guys help us out? And they're like, okay, sure, let's work it out in a meeting, and then that's the end of the movie. Like, the real Wakanda Forever movie is like it's like an hour and 45 minutes of, like, sit down conversations that get occasionally kind of heated, but mostly it's just like drafting legislation, you know, small talk about coffee. Like, it would not have been like that. I have to go now, but I'll tune into future live streams. Enjoyed your video this morning. Thank you so much, Molly. ¿De qué parte de RD son tus padres? Bueno, los dos son de Santo Domingo, pero también tengo unos ancestros de diferentes partes. Río San Juan, tengo familia, bueno, descendencia de partes de Cibao, o partes más del norte, Moca. Entonces, Santo Domingo, Santo Domingo, la ciudad, Bye. Have a nice day. I can't stay, but Elliot, congrats for reaching 20k. Super deserved. I'm excited to see the future of this channel. Thank you so much, Gray. ¿Alguna opinión controversial? Así en español para que no entiendan todos. Jejeje. Ok, una opinión controversial, pero en español, para que no entiendan. Entonces tiene que ser algo que yo quiero esconder. Yo no creo que yo no pienso this is difficult. Eso es difícil. Yo no creo en un concepto de ¿cómo se dice? Como que how do you say like self-sufficiency? Like autosuficiencia? Is that how it is? Yo no estoy de acuerdo con unas ideas de como que como si se puede, tiene que ser suficiente de sí mismo. Yo pienso que las comunidades son las partes más integrales en nuestras vidas y yo pienso que algunas personas tienen una imagen o un concepto de su vida de que son más poderosos de sí mismos. Y yo creo que al cabo del día nosotros no tenemos el poder ni la suficiencia de hacer o de controlar la mayoría de las cosas más importantes de nuestra vida. Cosas como que nuestra salud, nuestros recursos, nuestros privilegios y suerte, you know. La mayoría de cosas son de suerte, ¿sabe? Entonces, para mí, yo creo que es importante apoyar a una persona de seguir tratando, seguir apoyando y teniendo confianza y que sean optimistas, pero al cabo del día todo puede pasar y no podemos controlar la mayoría de nuestras experiencias, déjame decir. What's your predictions? Hold on a second. Let me screw. I lost it again. Oh shoot, there's a lot, guys. Holy crap. I am missing a lot. Let me try to get through these quicker. What's your predictions about your Spotify Wrapped? I think my most listened to song of the year is probably a BTS song. Oh well, from this year is a bit different, I guess. It's been 2022, so I think it might be Tu Cuntazo. My favorite song from this year might have been Tu Cuntazo by Tokisha, but there's been so many songs that I've been playing a lot. I wonder if that's why a lot of people go to work for themselves with freelance or their own business. Yeah, I mean that's why I kind of do it. That's kind of a familial trait as well. Like members of my family, like we want to own our own things because we're so detached from our labor. Man, this is way back. What is your favorite Megan Thee Stallion song? Body. Even that is becoming harder and harder. The nature of capitalism is accumulation of wealth, and fewer people. Eventually, bigger companies buy other smaller ones out. Yeah, of course. Like you have to partially, in order to resist capitalism, you also have to partially resist growth. So I don't necessarily think like, oh, I want a million subscribers. Like that would be dope. It's possible, but I'm not pushing to grow too much. I push to grow as much as I need to grow. Like a dream job and a capitalism answer was nice to hear your input on. Thank you, Cam. Hi, I'm slowly discovering your content. I'm very intrigued by what you have to say, though. I'm still taking my time to see if I agree with everything. Oh, good. Well, I hope you enjoy at least. What's your hot take on self-care? I feel like my concept of self-care changed drastically over the course of undergrad. I have like a million hot takes on self-care. I think it's really, really important. And I think... Hot take on self-care. I think ultimately a lot of what self-care comes down to is that it's like there's a reason why conservatism kind of dominates like self-care spaces in terms of like people like Jordan Peterson and Gary Vee. Like these are conservative ideologies that get very popularized. Even Hamza, we were talking about in a video prior. These are self-help, prominent self-help thinkers, right? Because there's a degree to which as individuals we do believe in these things of like self-sufficiency or like work as hard as possible, don't complain, like take care of yourself and your family. Like these kinds of things are useful for us in our individual lives, but I think they have to be separated to some degree from the political. But at the same time, self-care is political, so it's this really weird contradiction that I'm sort of parsing through that I don't know if I have a hot take on yet. Any advice for somebody shy / introverted / introverted insecure who soon should start to work in an office instead than from home as they used to be? I've never ever been good with socializing. Well, you just force yourself to do it a bunch and eventually you get good at it. The only way you get good at something is by doing it a lot. So whether you like it or not, if you socialize a lot, you'll get better at it. Will you get amazing at it? Probably not if you don't enjoy it and have certain insecurities that you're not going to let go of. We all have insecurities, to be honest. But you don't need to necessarily be fucking you don't need to be Nat King Cole. I don't know why I thought of Nat King Cole. You don't have to be like the most suave person. You don't have to be the most charismatic person. You can just you'll just learn and it'll be fine. Which is shitty advice in a sense, but I think what I mean, like what I'm coming down to at the end of the day is like, we always think that there's like these big answers to things, and sometimes the answer is just like, just go, just don't think about it too much, just deal with it, and eventually something good is gonna come out of it, Or if it doesn't, you'll get in specific situations where you have specific questions, and then from there, then you get to parse through the ideas a bit more. But from the outset, if you're just introverted, you're just insecure, and you're shy, you literally, there's a lot of things that you can do, but you're the most ultimately you just have to force yourself. And if you also fake it till you make it, be confident and just try to sort of be there for people. Like I think this is what I think I'll say. Don't think about yourself, just think about the other people. This is weirdly counterintuitive because it's always like, oh well, people are like, look out for yourself, be confident, maybe this is a self-care hot take too. I think the biggest key to how I got so much happier and better in social situations is because I stopped thinking about myself. When you're self-conscious, you just sit there and you're like, am I standing the right way? Do I sound cool? Do they like me? Am I funny? Are they gonna laugh at my joke? Should I make a joke here? Oh no, the moment passed. Like you're just sitting there thinking about yourself the whole time, and then everybody can feel it, right? If you're in a social situation, think about what the other person likes or cares about, and then see how you can get there with them. Like how you can give them something that'll be meaningful. Whether it's just like give them a good advice about something that they're insecure about, or like if they care about a specific subject like sport or music that you might be able to contribute something to, then talk with them about that. And if you don't know anything about it, ask them about that. Let them talk, right? That's one of the best ways to get better at socializing. Just let other people talk. Just take a mental note of what they're passionate about, what they're interested in, or what they want to talk about, what they care about, and then just ask them about it and just let them talk. Okay, so that if you're gonna take any tip, like let it be that. Just listen to everybody else. Don't what you're doing is not fucking important. Give them the go-to to talk as much as they want, and they will go. They will go because everybody has something they want, and it will happen to you too. Somebody will be like, "Oh, what do you think about X, Y, and Z?" And you'll be like, "Oh my God, I have a huge opinion about that," And then you're gonna talk for a while about that. That's how it goes. Hi Kiko, thank you so much for the support. Hi Anyonam, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much Michael Jackson Forever for the congratulations and the happy birthday wishes. Congrats BCW, I recently discovered your content and I subs. Thank you so much Trodden. I can't join right now. Kari, we miss you. Also blessed. Hey yo, congrats on 20K. Thank you so much. Also blessed. It's been a long time. It's been a long time coming. I see Michael Jackson Forever is offering VS some advice too. Exactly, like when somebody has a question or might need help with something, like just be a helper. You know, just be there for other people. Don't worry about yourself. You're not important. You're not important. The biggest one of the biggest self-care, like self-consciousness tips, literally you're not important. Like it doesn't matter what you do. Okay? Like when you're in this position and you're like you have a public image or whatever and you're in front of a live stream, then it might matter what you do. But when you're not in that position, you know, when you're just in the office or you're just talking to somebody one-on-one, just listen to them. Just listen to them. Just let them talk. YouTube has been my main form of media since I started to consistently spell YouTube on my keyboard. It means a lot. Like YouTube is like my thing. Thank you so much, Nicolas. I think you're pretty funny and adorable. Thank you so much. I'm also an introvert and what works for me is just to take my time. Yes, take your time, chill out. BS says, I have said it before, Elliot, but I really admire you. I feel so frustrated with myself because no matter the effort, I'm not good at anything. Is it possible to become a better version of yourself? Duh, BS. I mean, you always come in the chat saying some negative stuff about yourself, and it's like, I get it, but you're lying. Like, you're just always lying. Like, yeah, you've become better at, you're good at things. You're a good writer. I'll say that right off the top. There are a million people that don't know how to write the way that you write in this chat consistently over and over again. You are very good at wording things, so stop lying in my damn chat. That's what I'm gonna say. Ebini, watching your channel grow has been really inspiring. Thank you so much. Elliot, you're my new favorite YouTuber. Thank you, Sophie. What DAW do you use to make music? Asks Nicolas. I use Fruity Loops for beat making and sometimes mixing. And I use Audacity for recording and sometimes mixing. I only just found you a week ago from your Gen Z video. I could have sworn you had more than 20K subs with how well done that video is. Yeah, we're a pretty small channel so far, aren't we? But we'll see how things go for the next couple weeks. I'm excited, but I really appreciate the compliment. We put a lot of heart and soul into the videos, and I'm glad that people are, you know, resonating and all of that. Man, that's Alexis. Hey, that's crazy because I really needed to hear make it the fun bad decision because I'm starting to feel really dumb about this video thing. But caution to the wind. Literally, if the worst thing that could happen is you'll have a funny story, you know, like you'll have a story. You'll have a story to tell, or you'll have something to share with somebody that could help them. You know, I had a free ticket for a FIFA match, but I sprained my ankle and couldn't go. Should I spend $200 to go to a match? I don't know, man. If you really want to go to the match, I guess. The Mahi says, have you heard of the wizard Liz? The girl is slayer by her, but I feel like some of her ideology is toxic and unrealistic. I have heard of the wizard Liz. Stay tuned. I might have some things to say about the wizard Liz. I haven't deep dived into her content yet, but I've seen a couple of things, and I'm gathering opinions. Jury's out. What's your favorite game? Right now, my favorite game is Football Manager 2022. I don't have 23 because I'm good with 22 right now. And I have a little save with a Mexican team called Alebrijes de Oaxaca, and I'm trying to make them win the Liga MX, and it's great fun. It's great fun. I love simulation stuff. Yeah, I just want to have fun and do what I like to do. Literally, that's you're on it, Ebeanies. Next gen, it's getting late here. Good night, everybody, and happy birthday, Elliot. Thank you. Totally agree with your advice on studying. So important to realize to just do what makes you happy. After having to study biology and then having the worst year, now I study English and philosophy. Literally, and the times that you spent studying biology probably gave you some insight on something too that's gonna help you with the English and philosophy stuff. Like you have no idea like how much everything will work out if you are lucky enough to be healthy and on this earth, and you know, just doing your thing. And if you have if you have resources and you just do the thing that feels right and have fun, like a lot of shit will just work out. T.Y. Elliot, especially about the fun wrong decision, is very needed to hear. Maybe I'll go to this karaoke thing I was invited to then. Yeah, go for it. I mean, I was gonna go to a party last night and I skipped out on it because it was like oh, it's cold outside and it was deep, and one of our friends couldn't go, and I started getting like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay home and rest. So sometimes you just want to stay home and rest, but sometimes if you're home every night, go fucking karaoke, dude. And yes, I repeatedly hear, what are you gonna do with that? But it makes me feel happy and I get to learn again. There's so many things you can do with an English and philosophy degree. Like the writing skills alone are gonna be able to help you in a lot of different types of jobs. And then eventually you can go to grad school and become a professor, become an author. You can do research. You can do a lot of things. You just, I mean, being a professor might not be your thing, and then you have to think about it. But being a professor is not that bad. It doesn't seem that bad anyway. I changed what I studied 3 times until I landed at English and art history. Interestingly, that's a combination that gives me a much more straightforward answer. Yeah, I think that that's a really good like combination of studies as well. Need an editor? Hi there. I don't need an editor. I got my editor. But if somebody needs an editor, let them know. Do you like going out? Yeah, I like going out. I like being outside. It's too cold out right now though. Mussels, yes, like the shellfish. Yes, I see the. English is a very fun language. Yeah. I mean, mussels. mussels. They're really good and tasty. Mussels. I don't eat human mussels, but you know, if you guys have a rec. For real, I hated the fact that they pit us together with violence. Like we can talk it. Like we can talk it out. Like come on. Like they're fluent in different languages. Still love that movie. It was a very nice movie. It was very fun to watch. It's just like, come on, this plot. I've been wanting to learn Spanish for a while now. Maybe I'll start soon. Vamos! What niche thing could you talk about for hours? I could talk about Football Manager. Like all the details of that video game and my particular save as well. Another niche thing that I could talk about for hours would be maybe like martial arts. I could talk about martial arts quite a bit. I'm not that great at it though. Niche thing that I could talk about for hours. I guess there's a few things, right? BTS, you know. Do you still do no? I think Wong asked if I still do Muay Thai. The answer is yes, just not that much right now, because I'm quite busy with other things. Colonizers thought we wouldn't notice. Is that a controversial opinion? Not sure what you're referring to, but if it was a Spanish thing, then maybe. I studied a lot because I didn't know what else to do. I'm just at that point where I'll just do it for the money and get my joy from other parts of my life. A lot of times that's just how it is. Like you just do your job for your money and for your career, and if you're good at it, especially, just like, you know, half-ass it and then spend as much time as possible doing things that you actually like. My rap is going to be dominated by BTS and BTS solo work, maybe a ska band, maybe to the top 5. Now that's a unique combo. Mine might be Run BTS. I've definitely listened to Run BTS a lot this year. Pretty much why I do IT. I understand it enough not to hate it, and it makes money, so I just punch the clock and do all the things I really like on my off time. That's honestly like one of the best things you can do, and then eventually you'll find something that you actually like to do that you can make money off of too. Maybe you can combine that, but then also like it's different when you're doing something for money. Like you can never enjoy it the same way as when it's just a hobby. Stay Alive is a good song. Yet to Come maybe number 1. Okay. Phoebe Bridgers and Mitski. Yeah, I'm praying for you. I exist. I'm praying for you. Jeez. Being self-conscious is just way too exhausting and unproductive. If you're able to let that go, you're already halfway there. 1000%. Hey there, cuties. What's up, Forest Creature? I took a tour guide job at university, suffered terrible anxiety and cried over it for the first 2 years, but it gave me so much. Now I love the job because I get to help students with their future. You know, like, it sometimes takes time. Like, dead ass, like, sometimes the answer is just like, I don't know, you know, just keep going, I guess, right? If you don't have any better answers, then just keep doing just do the best thing that you can come up with. You know, if there was some great alternative that you could have gotten, then yeah, that would have been great. But sometimes the answer is like, I'm just going to stay here because I like it enough, right? I had a period of time where I didn't like my current job, and now I love it. I love it as much as I can, anyway. Okay, thank you all for the advices. Thank you, VS. Weird, but how do you visualize how people in the chat look and sound like? I kind of don't, but now that's going to be in my head. Fancy. Have you gotten any collab requests from other YouTubers? In the past, but not recently. Very serious question. Milk first or cereals first? Cereals first, obviously. I want to make a singular video essay on this one K-drama that I hate from the bottom of my heart, and I need to express myself or I'll explode. The K-drama is the K2, if you know that. Make it and send it to me, and I want to watch it. Yes, I learned so much from that horrible year. I learned resilience and how to appreciate good professors and classes way more. Yeah, seriously. Like, You can't have good experiences without bad experiences, people. Stop avoiding the bad. If you don't know what the good decision is, just make a terrible one. Fuck it. Much love, Elliot. Always love chilling in your chat, so I gotta head out. Thank you so much, Anyanam. Fuck, I fucking lost it. Okay, here we go. How many years on average do Americans spend in college and uni? Probably. I mean, it depends on average. Like, a lot of people never go to college. But it's pretty normal to go for 4 years, get a bachelor. Football Manager is great. I love Football Manager. Barbie extended movie universe. I could go in for hours. Yo, do it. I know, dude, that's your second video essay. That's your second one. I got a question for the U.S. Americans in the chat too. In Germany, you have the option to do paid apprenticeships, where you learn the job and some theory in a school. Well, hold on a second. Vienna Wallace. I'm 18 and in grade 12, and honestly, your videos bring a lot of comfort in this stressful and important time in my life. Do you have any stories from this part of your life? Interesting. When I was 18, so I'm a late in the year baby, so I graduated when I was 17, which is not like a big accomplishment. It's literally the same thing, so don't even go there. But I freshman year of college, I was a shithead. Honestly, like if you were to ask me about who I was when I was 17 and 18, like I was a shithead. But I still love who I was because I know that I was trying and I cared. But my problem was I was just too focused on myself and like too self-conscious, and then constantly just trying to perform different things so that people would like me and notice me. And to some degree that's normal with youth, but like it was too much. It was too much, and I ended up hurting some people because I was reckless. I was not careful. I was not I was not kind enough. I would say one story is I was in a musical. I was in a musical when I was 18, and I was terrible. I was a lead in a musical, and I've done a couple musicals since then. I was better, but in that one, the vocal range was just too high. It was just too high, bro. And like people always think I'm a tenor, and it's like I could be a tenor if I knew how to sing high, but I am physically not programmed to sing high. I am physically programmed to sing low and talk high. That is just who I am. I have that kind of voice. And so I had all these notes, and so by halftime, I said halftime like it's a fucking football match. By intermission, my voice was gone. Like I was it was Urinetown the musical. I was Bobby Strong. Oh god, it was horrendous. I was so bad. But I tried my best. I wore a little jean overalls. So that's what I was doing. Is there also an option like that in the USA? Yeah, paid internships, paid apprenticeships are options in the USA. They're not super common, but it depends on where you are and what degree, what realm you're in. Chat is low key all Trini. Hey, Air the Hedgehog is Trini, so we're all Trini by proxy. Meeks asked, "Are you zesty?" I'm not sure what you mean. I think that's slang for like, "Are you like gay?" Which I'm not gay, but I have no idea if that's like accurate or not. I'm so curious about the K2 video. Who's your BTS bias? Mine is J-Ho. I don't really have a bias. I think I have my moments with each of them that are my special, like my things that I like about each of them. So, maybe RM I just relate to the most. My two big niche things are fashion history and music analysis. That's fucking fire. I exist. Like that sounds dope. Like, can you write me an essay? Now I want to read what you got to say. The decision I'm conflicted. The decision I'm conflicted between, I guess, is choosing fun uni. Oh,
New
goodness.
donation from Sophie.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for the donation. We're gonna wrap up in a second, guys, but you guys have been awesome. You've been so kind. This has been so fun. I'm gonna answer a couple more and then split. All right. Donations. My goodness. This is so kind of y'all, man. Let me see something. I'll check that out later. This is so kind of you guys. Seriously. What was the thing? The decision I'm... Okay, the decision I'm conflicted between is choosing fun uni and uncertain post uni, or not the most fun uni, but then I know I'll be very secure financially afterwards. I would definitely probably go with secure financially. If the choice is between like you're not sure, if you're not sure, then I would go like the less debt you can do. Because you would be surprised how much fun you could have in not fun uni. And you'd be surprised how little fun sometimes you'll have in the fun uni. And so I would go to the the most fun uni and literally make it your personal mission to make it the most fun uni in the universe. Like, meet as many people, go to the clubs, even if the clubs suck, like turn them up, be the revolutionary that tries to change the school, you know, be the main character in that motherfucking boring ass university. And then you also, you know, don't have to pay as much. Trini gang. Yes. Shout out to the Trinis. Let me quit playing. My family's from the Bahamas. Damn. Karaoke stream when? We did a karaoke stream before, so maybe the next one will be at 25K. Oh, don't go. Karita, I'll literally text you. How are you going to spend the rest of your birthday? I'm going to play more Football Manager, read a bit, write something, and then, I don't know, sleep. When they first met, when he saved it from the car, that's what the audience sounds. Hello, Elliot. Do you like romance? If so, do you have a favorite romantic book movie? It's never really been my thing. I really liked Crash Landing on You, but I never even finished it. I know how it ends, but I never finished watching it because I was like, okay. I have watched 10 episodes of this. K-dramas are so freaking long. Like, damn, but I do feel like watching one. I'm going to watch a K-drama tonight. Fuck it. As an American who is hella in debt from going to a private school 2,000 miles away from home, go with the money saving option. 1,000%. It's usually never as fun. Like, going away is usually never as fun. Save money. Save if it's a significant amount of money that you're gonna save, especially save money. Anything about European history or deep evolution, deep time, or Star Wars, the MCU, or dogs? Who's your favorite Habsburg? That's my question for you. Michael Jackson forever, or for Eve? It's actually good advice. Probably. Be the main character in the boring. I was the main character in the boring college, or not even the boring college, but like the small kind of fucked up college, and like, you know, you could be too. Crash Landing on You is good romance. It was, I think. Did you get a cake for your birthday? No, I don't like cake. I ate. I got a margarita for my birthday. Okay. Hot take. Only finished Crash Landing because of the extended cast and I hated the main couple. That's extremely hot. That's a piping hot take. You know they had a kid? They literally just had a kid in real life, so you're objectively wrong. Watch Little Women, the K-drama, it's so good. Maybe I will. My other niche things are frogs and Life of Van Gogh. I'm gonna get into the Life of Van Gogh a little bit. Slice of life type of dramas. I love slice of life. If there's one type of fiction I like, it's slice of life, man. I don't like all that drama. Oh, it's sports. I like sports anime. I want to watch like sports K-drama. If there's ever like a really good sports K-drama, I'll watch that shit. I want to hear your opinion on Somebody. It's a new K-drama. Oh, it's probably the show is called Somebody. I'm not really a horror thriller type person, so maybe somebody else might be into it, but I mean, you know, maybe we'll see. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go eat some snacks. Probably not some snacks. It's been great. This is a great conversation. Tune in the next time that I announce a live stream. Probably like whenever we get to 25K, I'll live stream again. And in the meantime, you know, I'll be waiting for this new laptop to come in, and that's gonna change the game. I'm also, you know, it's December, so I'm gonna be busy. Well, it's about to be December, so I'm gonna be busy. There may or may not be a video this week, but I think that there will be. We'll see. In the meantime, guys, please be easy. Please be good. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you to everybody so much for the donations. And yeah, support the new video, and hit that affiliate link. See ya. Have a good night.